Well, I love that even pre-stream philosophy comments are happening. That's what I was after. There we go. Big and wide and tall. Trying to peel a bit of orange and fucked it up. What's the philosophy behind that, I wonder? Philosophy of my endless struggle to get aesthetically pleasing orange peel. Is this an empty pursuit? Not worthy of a free mind? I don't know. Right, we're going to do a little parallelogram here, maybe. You know what? I might leave it at that. Just busily trying to shape up my orange peel. What does this one do if I just trim that jaggedy edge off? Fuck off, Microsoft. Oh, do you want Windows backup? You don't have a hard drive on your computer, do you? Should pay Microsoft money for something you'll never use. Don't know why I'm using that voice because it's hurting my throat. I need to stop doing that. Don't want to hurt my throat just to mock Microsoft and their money-grubbing ways. This modern world where every fucker tries to switch you to a subscription service. You got to have an app and you're completely dependent. Like, you can buy something and then find out you don't actually own it because they just willfully change the purchase agreement. Yeah, high-pitched voice is a young man's game. That's true. That's true. Greg, hello. How are you? Heidi, today you got F1 the movie, LA Story. Still don't have to realize, LA Story is a very fun movie that starts off, it's like, oh, it's just a comedy, but then it goes in this really fantastical direction, which is quite interesting. I still haven't watched F1, actually. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I forgot to do a thumbnail of my clarified eggnog last night. So I got to pour myself some more clarified eggnog and take a picture of it. Woe is me, eh? Having to have another clarified eggnog, which is really yummy. And a twist of orange peel. Can I get this one to twist like we did last summer? Oh, okay. You like LA Story that much? Favorite movie? Okay. Well, it's certainly a lot of fun. One of Steve Martin's best. I mean, I do have a soft spot for The Jerk, his breakthrough film. It's not a fantastic film, but it's very entertaining. Okay, I just did that wrong. I don't need that. Not yet. I just got confused what I was doing. Just want to bring my ring light over. It's almost over. Just want the nice ring lighting. Oops, come on, I think I'll settle down there. Okay, pour myself a drink. I do want to off-center it for thumbnail purposes. Let's do that. Orange peel. Get my camera. All right. Dunzo. I may or may not make a short video tonight. I haven't decided yet. I picked out what I'll make, if I make anything. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do it. We shall see. Yes, there's a character whose name is Withnell. Traditional English name, apparently. I don't know. There's going to look something up on Defords. Be my Negroni. Oh, was it Gibson Martini Day? Okay. Okay, I'm going to look up a couple of things. But what's this thing? The Ghost of Smokey Joe. There we go. We just serve it up. Oh, we want to smoke this sucker. All right. That's a nice bit of flamboyance. It says, present it with a verbal garnish. Say, hidey, 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 ho. I could do that for a cocktail video. Hidey, 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 ho. Vidi Gaming. Hello. Not seen Withnell in 9 years. Yes, Paul McGann. It's an early role for Paul McGann. Oh, you're casually interested in philosophy? Well, they have World Day for everything, and I was just like, well, today's World Philosophy Day, so I can make silly jokes about philosophy. So you say Withnell, the piss says you take a trip to the country. Yes, we've gone on holiday by mistake. Hey, Celtic, how are you? You know what? Because I'm a special boy. I'm going to give myself a cherry too. From hell's dark heart I stab at thee. Missed. I need to drain some of this syrup. There we go. Finally got it. And cherry. Okie dokie doo. Using good philosophical jokes. Yes. Well. Okay. I have to do it now. What does the internet tell us about philosophy jokes? I mean, it's the stuff Pavlov, it's not philosophy, is he? It's like behavioral science. Okay, Reddit philosophy. Favorite philosophy jokes. Descartes goes into a bar, sits down, orders a beer. He finishes his beer and the bartender says, Descartes, would you like another? Descartes responds, I think not. And poof, he disappears. Oof. Okay. This one. Jean-Paul Sartre is writing Being in Nothingness at a local cafe when the barista comes up and asks him if he wants anything. Sartre says, "Yes, I'd like a coffee, please. No milk." The barista responds, "I'm sorry, monsieur, we're out of milk. Would you like no cream instead?" I actually like that one. How did the solipsist break up with his girlfriend? It's not you, it's me. Oh, that's a proper philosophy joke there. So you can say, well, philosophy day, every hot take is just a thought experiment. Yes. And yeah, this is not the most recent collection of shirts, Celtic, but it's a recent one. Video games, you need to read more about Sartre to get that. Oh, well, it's not even about Sartre, but it's just that we're out of milk. Would you like no cream? I just liked that line. A dean who's the head of the physics. A dean asks the head of the physics department to see him. Why are you using so many resources? All those labs and experiments and whatnot, this is getting expensive. Why can't you be more like mathematics? They only need pens, paper, and a trash bin. Or philosopher, they only need pens and paper. Oh dear. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? Next joke. By the law of the excluded middle, either A is B or A is not B must be true. Hence, either the present King of France is bald or the present King of France is not bald must also be true. Yet, if we enumerated the things that are bald and then the things that are not bald, we should not find the present King of France on either list. Hegelians who love a synthesis will probably conclude that he was a wig. Okay, that's not a joke. That's a Bertrand Russell. Well, okay, that's a weird fucking academic joke. Two behavioralists are having sex. When they're finished, one turns to the other and says, "That was good for you. Was it good for me?" Yes, a Buddhist monk walks up to a hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." The hot dog vendor hands over a sausage bun, all the trimmings. The Buddhist hands over a 20. The vendor pockets it. The Buddhist says, "Where's my change?" The vendor replies, "Change must come from within." A gun then extends from a Buddhist's chest, and he asks again. The vendor says, "Well, man, where did this come from?" The Buddhist replies, "This is my inner peace." Oh dear. An English professor, a physicist, and a philosopher are arguing about whose research is more important. The English professor says, "My research is clearly the most important. It allows us to get inside the mind of people hundreds of years ago, give insights to the human condition. It's all based on 4 lines of text from 1532. The physicist said, "Rubbish. My work's clearly more important. Gives us insight into the nature of matter and what we're made of. And it's all based on an equation 2 inches long." The philosopher grins broadly. "That's so cute. I'll have you know my work is truly comprehensive. I've developed a complete and comprehensive framework that solves all problems in ethics, metaphysics, and epistemology, essentially solving every conceptual problems faced by the human race. And it's all based on nothing at all." A cop pulls over Heisenberg speeding down the highway. The cop asks if he knows he was going 150 kilometers an hour. Heisenberg responds, "Great, now I'm lost." Wow, that is an obscure one. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, well, that's philosophy jokes for the evening anyway. Stricky Sager, if a philosopher makes a good point in chat and Angry doesn't read it, did it really happen? You've seen Breaking Bad? Almost don't get that. I don't remember why he called himself Heisenberg in Breaking Bad, actually. Was it just his favorite philosopher? Don't really think there was anything about an uncertainty principle in his making meth. Mm. Oh man, such a shame. I had to pour myself another drink of that. Forget who Heisenberg's named after in the chair. Well, he's uh, what was he, a philosopher or a mathematician? Because there's famously the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. See, this is how bad my education is. I don't know. Yeah, okay. He was a theoretical physicist. He's a key founder of quantum mechanics. So yes, he was not really well. You could argue there's philosophy in his thing. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle states a particle's position and momentum cannot be known with perfect accuracy at the same time. So, yes, the uncertainty principle is you can either know the particle's position and momentum. Sorry, its position and its momentum. You can't know them both with perfect accuracy. So the joke was when the cop says to Heisenberg, "This is how fast you were going," Heisenberg then knows his momentum, but so then he doesn't know his position because he was, he knew his momentum, so he didn't know his position. That was a friggin' fringe joke. Heine, excellent point. Science is natural philosophy. And video gaming. Dr. House wanted to study that before deciding to be a diagnostician. My favorite thing about the TV show House is a lot of people, particularly American audiences, but not limited to American audiences, a lot of people, that was like their first time seeing Hugh Grant as the actor who plays House. And they thought they thought he was American and he's British and he's playing this gruff American character. And he got famous doing comedy in England, and a lot of it, he's just being very camp and very effete. And showing someone who only knows him from House his early comedy with did I say Hugh Grant? Hugh Laurie. Did I say Hugh Grant? Sorry, Hugh Laurie. Uh, Particularly the early comedy he did with Stephen Fry. It's he's unrecognizable. The comedy he does in the A Little Fry and Laurie sketch comedy series, he's absolutely unrecognizable compared to the character House. Heine, it's the reason virtual particles, vacuum energy, vital for black holes to vary. Okay. Yeah, well, again, strictly Sega, his characters in Blackadder tend to be very foppish. That will also trip out people who only know him as House. This is basically how he was for a long time. He was just playing really foppish characters, foppish upper class English characters, and then suddenly plays this gruff American. Devious Chris, Hillary playing House at the time. Daniel Davis was pretending to be a Brit on The Nanny. Oh yes, again, that's someone who completely got me. Daniel Davis plays the butler, and he's a British butler in The Nanny. He completely got me. I actually thought he was British. Dude's Texan as fuck. Yeah, it was very funny, but he again, I knew the guy not at all, and I actually just assumed he was British, and he ain't. Yeah, that was really fucking yummy. Okay, I definitely should not leave the chat while we're in full flight. So, and I'm in no rush to make any other videos. So we'll go. Although I do want to experiment. So this is not making a video. This is just quickly making a drink. I have an idea because I get stupid ideas that are about the name of a drink, of a joke or an acronym. I was going to make a last word riff, classic last word riff, 4 equal parts: a spirit, a liqueur, and a bittersweet aperitivo or a herbal element, and citrus. And you can play around with that, but that's the basic thing. And I was just coming up with, I don't know what, I've just thought of calling a cocktail WTF, and particularly you get the whiskey tango foxtrot. And I realized I could make it with whiskey, and I've got Tangelo cello, which is almost tango. And I thought I had an aperitivo that was named Fox. It's not named Fox, it's named Wolf. But I could just change that for an F. I got Fernet Branca, which is a strong herbal liqueur, which would fit with the template. So then that would be the WTF cocktail. Name a drink after a famous philosopher of video gaming. Streaky Sega, it was just about the drinking thing. Emmanuel Kant was a real pissant. He could drink you under the table. I used to know it. I don't know. There's nothing Nietzsche couldn't teach about the bending of the wrist. Socrates himself was permanently pissed. I think it's Heidegger. Heidegger was a bugger for the bottle. Trying to remember the different bits from the Philosopher's Song, the Philosopher's Drinking Song. Yeah, now I kind of want to look up the lyrics for that. Devious Chris, are you presupposing your vanishing midstream would necessarily precondition for subpar hosting? That was my presupposition. And do I have evidence to back that up? Arguably not. She could say you had a philosopher offered to make you a drink, 40% gin, 60% existential doubt. That's just going to get more so as you drink more gin as well. Because somebody's rare. Heidegger was a boozy devil. You could drink you under the table. Yes, the Monty Python sketch with the football match was very funny. As ridiculous as the best Monty Python stuff was. Absolutely ridiculous. You know what? I might do an experiment. I'd have to go. Yeah, okay. I have to go get my lemon juice. I forgot to bring. Because I'm thinking of maybe doing this tomorrow night. But, well, I'm just going to experiment. But you know what? Before I go, Monty. Wow, auto-completed to Monty Python Philosophy Football. I must have looked that up at some point. The Bruce's Philosopher's Song. Okay, yes, this was the University of Woolloomooloo. Okay, so the lyrics are: Immanuel Kant was a real pissant who was very rarely stable. Heidegger was a boozy beggar who could drink you under the table. David Hume could outconsume Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, and Wittgenstein was a beery swine who was just as Schloss as Schlegel. There's nothing Nietzsche couldn't teach you about the raising of the wrist. Socrates himself was permanently pissed. John Stuart Mill, of his own free will, on half a pint of shandy, was particularly ill. Plato, they say, could stick it away half a crate of whiskey every day. Aristotle was a bugger for the bottle. Hobbes was fond of his dram. And Rene Descartes was a drunken fart. I drink, therefore I am. Yes, Socrates himself is particularly missed. A lovely little thinker, but a bugger when he's pissed. Again, that's a uni student song. Thank you, Celtic. The beard's probably getting trimmed sometime soon. Oh, nice. You saw VT. He's going to archive me so Lord Yahweh can send me to hell. I mean, fair. Again, those lyrics are very... Okay, you know what? I'm going to duck out and get my lemon juice, and I'm going to experiment with the WTF cocktail. It'll just take me a second to get it. Okay.
Just testing out his capability.
Fair enough. Had to dodge around our cleaning robot. Oh, hell sounds like a good place. Never hear of fucking heaven. I mean, all the fun people are in hell. Okay, let's go. I gotta put this stuff away. Okay, that's whiskey can stay. That's the W. Brandy goes down on the brandy shelf. Spice rum goes on the rum shelf. And this goes back into the forbidden cupboard with mystery. Okay. Branca. A little bit left in that. Where's the Tangelo? Tangelo cello. Okay. Oh god, the robot's coming up the hall. I can hear it. Okay, I'm not going to... this is lemon, so you'd shake it. I'm not going to shake it because I don't want to shake this hand around. Oh, will I? I don't know. Am I feeling that? Okay. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And this one, Whiskey Tangelo Fernet. Fernet. Might want to adjust these. Fernet in particular is very strong. Okay, which glass am I going to put this in? This one. Wait, what? Fucking ice. Jesus Christ. I got ice ready, then didn't bring it in here. Okay. Annoys the shit out of me when I get something ready and then forget it. But anyway, okay, ice. Ice, baby. Okay, that. I was going to say, do I have my fucking sieve in? God damn it. With my bung finger, I can't get the leverage right. Jesus Christ. Oh, this shits me up the wall, honestly. There we go. Broke the seal. Fuck me sideways, honestly. Ooh. Hell of a colour. Be the Finette making it go a funky colour. Looks a bit like water from a puddle. It's okay. What would it be saying about monkeys? Oh, the monkey pants. If free will's an illusion, you're always destined to rewatch Pulp Fiction instead of a new movie. That's true. Speaking of free will, or even House, there's an episode where a patient talked about there being no meaning or consequences. House argues, if you believe in eternity, life's irrelevant, same way that a bug's irrelevant in comparison to the universe. Your actions here are all that matters. These the should make up a concoction that's meant to contain port, swap it for sherry. Then call it the is port fallacy. Even something. Even if it's something I can't agree with. Can't agree with me. Okay. Chris, you know philosophy more than me. I am going to have to look up is port fallacy. You're going to have to explain that to me. Can't know is from an ought. I'm getting very confused. Celtic was to reincarnate as a monkey. What if I put can't in? See, video gaming. People get Locke and John Locke from Lost mixed up. Shouldn't tell them like that. See, now you're getting into some obscure philosophy jokes that I don't know the philosophers well enough to get. Okay, Finette's too strong. I should scale back the Finette and maybe do more whiskey. In the name of science, I will make another one of that. I can't say you ought to do X based on an is statement. Like a churchy saying God is king, you ought to do X. I'm still not sure where the port comes into it, Chris. I've heard of Locke the philosopher, mainly the names. I've never watched Lost. And I think, was Locke mentioned in the Monty Python song? When I think of Locke, I think of a Tom Hardy movie that's called Locke, where it's just him in a car having phone conversations as he drives. It's the whole movie. It's just him. It's a good movie. Swapping out the term ought for port. See, okay, Chris, you're too smart for me. That's what's going on here. It's the is ought fallacy, and it becomes the is port fallacy. Chris, you've got to dumb it down for me. I swear to God. That's now you've explained it. That's really good. Oh my God. That and I love puns, particularly labored puns. Like, like I come up with this one. I just got obsessed with making a cocktail that I could call WTF. Yeah, Viddy, you and Chris are my casual philosophy lecturers tonight. Please and thank you. That's honestly the is. Now I know what it means. I'm so into the is port fallacy. Oh, that's awesome. That's I brought this on myself, centering the stream name on philosophy. I was not expecting to get quality content like this. I'm very much appreciating it. So here's another one, Viddy. A reference from Lost. Character is surnamed Hume, but their first name is Demond, not David. Okay, so if I'm picking up what you're laying down, you're saying they were deliberately naming characters in Lost after philosophers? There's a comic writer who I quite like his work. Apparently, he's a more than questionable human. Warren Ellis, quite a prolific comic writer, and written some very good comics. And he had this series where it's like this secret group of people with just a huge variety of skills, and they're always like, they're the absolute last chance to save Earth or a significant portion of Earth from a terrible disaster that's going to happen, within 24 hours. And there's one thing where something mysterious and magical seemed to have been happening. So they actually call in like their philosophers. And one of them is talking about, is magic real? And okay, now I've got to get this right. I'm trying to remember what the character's name was. Yeah, the character's name was Alex Crowe. And he talked about some of the things the famous occultist Alexander Crowley could do. And when he's explaining this to someone and he's going like, oh, it's kind of interesting. Is Alex Crowe your real name, or is that a tribute to Alexander Crowley? And he goes, something like that. He's Alexander Crowley. Yeah, this particular comic series would make a really good TV show, because you just do a 1 hour thing where it's like the last hour that this group has to save the world. So we're saying, Viddy, in philosophy, moral philosophy, a concept of the fork in the train tracks, you have to make the decision who said, the trolley problem. I could do a cocktail based on Maisel, call it Hilbert's Maisel. See, Chris, you were being too smart for me again. Who was Moselle? There's, of course, a place and a wine called Moselle. What if I put philosopher? Model philosopher. Oh, Musil. Musil, Robert Musil. Austrian philosophical writer. His unfinished novel, The Man Without Qualities. Wait, what's this guy's Wikipedia entry? His unfinished novel, The Man Without Qualities, is generally considered to be one of the most important and influential modernist novels. Hilbert's Hotel. Wait, I'm getting... Oh, okay, sorry. Jesus. Okay, so Hilbert's Hotel and make it with Moselle. Okay. Let me look it up. Hilbert's Hotel. Oh, it's the hotel with infinity rooms that's completely full. God, I heard someone do a really good deconstruction of that recently, and I wish I could remember where, because it's absolutely like doing my head in it, and it had to do with moving all the guests for room cleaning and whatnot. And yes, yeah, it's Chris. It's dealing with the paradox of smaller and larger infinities. Yeah. Celtic had a dream about AIDSy. Popping pills, smoking tobacco, special something. Yeah, that's it. That sounds about right. Saying drugs could be legalized. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe he just visited you. Maybe it wasn't a dream, Celtic, because that's all stuff he'd say. Yes. God, I wish I could remember what it was, but I had something that, I've been listening to various podcasts and things on YouTube and whatnot. And it was an exploration of that infinite hotel idea. And they did all these variants on it that were explaining how it's basically to do your head in with the concept of infinity. Video Game Elvis should have done a song, The Orbit Hotel. Set up. See, I bet, I'm willing to bet there are philosophy students around the world who have done a song called Hilbert Hotel that they sing to the tune of Heartbreak Hotel. Okay, I'm also going to put less lemon juice in it, but that's maybe just my taste. I usually like less citrus in a cocktail than what's recommended. So I might fudge that. But I'm definitely going to make one more. See, now Video Game, you got to look it up. Has someone done Hilbert's Hotel sung to the tune of Heartbreak Hotel? Yep, that's, for my taste, that's far too bitter. Not as unpleasant as, say, Campari is. But I think if I put less lemon juice and less Fernet and more whiskey, I'll like it more. All right. All right, what's this? A third drink on a Thursday night? That'll probably be me done. But I'm going to do it. Okay. Take the second. Am I gonna make my life difficult? Okay. So we will do a bit of extra whiskey. And our Frangelo. Doo-doo-doo. And we'll do a bit less Finette. Ooh, I finished the Finette. Lucky I have a backup bottle because I knew that was running out. And it happened to be on special at Dan, so I thought, get you some of that while it's on special. Crack-a-lackin'. Oh, man, fuck, shit, Jesus. Everything's going tits up. I forgot what I was doing, namely putting less Finette in there. A little bit. Yep, that's better. What a doofus, honestly. And we'll do less lemon juice as well. I get midnight. Am I going to regret putting this together again? Alright, got it apart that time. Okay, that's a funkier colour. With a bit less Finette in there. Still looks a bit like puddle water. Let's see if I've improved this. That is better. It's not setting my world on fire. Kelsey, you're off. Do some pegging. Video found an album, at least a few songs titled after the concept, where they're specifically about the thought experiment you cannot tell. It's for Hilbert's Hotel. Chris, if you're shattered from drinking, seeing thing, don't give a damn. I'm pissed not logical nihilism, as opposed to epistemological nihilism. See, that one I got. Broadly, your jokes have been too bloody clever for me. That one I got. I also, as I have mentioned, I believe, quite enjoy laboured wordplay. Oh, that was weird. What's that do? Okay. A branch of nihilism that isn't logical. I don't think, do I have anything else that starts with F? The Finette's a bit strong, taste-wise. Like, I might even drop it back to... I might save this part of the experiment till tomorrow night. I may stop drinking alcohol now. You want a clever pun involving Nile and nihilism. And hey, Pat, how you doing? Okay. What would be lines about the River Nile? Full of crocodiles. Maybe something about the source of the nihilism. People are always obsessed with finding the source of the Nile. Or is nihilism just ancient Egyptians who worshipped the Nile River? And maybe even just 7.5 mils of... Yeah, I think I'm going to do 45 mils tomorrow night, not doing this tonight. 45 mils of whiskey and 7.5 mils of Fernet. And then I have the WTF. I think that will work. Well, that's for tomorrow night to find out. I was thinking, party night would be the time to experiment making a cocktail, but I don't know. I just got inspired to start the experiment tonight. Hey, Safa, how are you doing? What did I have for dinner? One of my package meals, it was cheese and vegetable omelette, actually. Video Gamey, thank you for hanging out. I've very much enjoyed interacting with you, so thank you. So I've had 3 snacks with cheese. Well, that's winning. Mm. You think my omelette sounds fancy? Not really. And the funny thing was, like I microwaved it, then set it in the sandwich press to make it, because microwave heated it through, but it's going to be a bit soggy. So I put it in the sandwich press because I wanted it to be a bit crispy, and that worked. Omelette for dinner. Well, no rules, Safa. So Chris, the nihilism would lead you. Yes! See, I think there's a joke in there. Nihilism, the philosophy, leads you nowhere, but if you sail down the Nile, that nihilism will lead you somewhere inevitably. Safa, it kind of threatened to rain all day today. There might have been a few drops, but not much. We're meant to get actual spring-like weather for the next week. Been cooler than average. So tomorrow's 19, which is a bit warmer than today. Then 23, 23, 27, 27, 24. And then maybe dropping back under 20. And maybe a bit of spring rain all through the week. Wait, what does the map look like? Is there any rain around me? Nope, there's no rain anywhere near me. So yes, everyone's complaining that it's not very warm, the spring weather. Pat, you having pizza, or are you just sharing a pizza emoji with me? Either thing's good. I was going to bring in something else for my non-alcoholic beverage, but that's okay. I'll have a mineral water. So what I want to get in the Black Friday sales is a new chair. This chair is fucked beyond belief. I need to get a new chair that's hopefully not too expensive. I know I'm going to have to spend hundreds of dollars. Hopefully not too expensive, but is strong enough that me being a fat bastard won't fuck up the gas lift. So I've actually asked my daughter, because I think she knows this stuff. So falling off the chair was nothing to do with the quality of the chair. That was to do with how much I'd had to drink and the fact the chair's on wheels and I pushed back on it. The finger seems to be improving. I still occasionally get quite a bit of pain in it. At the moment, there's almost no pain. It's almost because I started thinking about it. I can feel a very dull ache. I'm probably going to unwrap it again on the weekend and look at it again. And I have booked in to see a GP next week to look at it and go, hey, how's that going? Is that healing? Do I need another x-ray? Am I fucked or what? So if you had a knee barometric pains, I don't know what that is. Pat, Pat's just going for the emojis tonight. You had pizza for dinner. Nice. I mean, I'm a huge fan of pizza. It's fantastic. Knee pain from good. You those people who can feel barometric pressure changes in your joints. That's the thing a lot of people say. They can feel changes in barometric pressure in their joints. And no, humans, well, yeah. I do not feel barometric pressure changes in my joints. Devious Chris, if you're looking to sober up and end your drunkenness, would teleology be the correct approach? Yes, teleology, which promotes a nice cup of tea as opposed to alcohol. So, for what city is the first test in? Not that I really care. I don't think I've followed cricket since the 90s. No, Safa, that's a different person. Oh, okay, that's why it's starting at 12 our time, because it's in Perth. That makes sense. So it's starting at 9 Perth time. Oh, God, I think the robot's coming up the hall. Do you want to see the robot? Oh, no, there's a human there too. All right. I'm just going to show off the robot. Get out of the way. Oh, yeah. Went into my bedroom. All right. Yes. See, Chris, you're leaning heavily into the philosophy. Safa's got you questioning identity. Heine, it's called a genie something or other, and I got it because I think it was a discontinued line that had been massively discounted at Harris Scarf. No problems with it, really. Yeah, Safa, I have no idea why YouTube forced the different appearance of screen names. But Mrs. Angry drew the eyes and mouth and stuck them on the robot. Does Harris Scarf date me? Do any old people shop at Harris Scarf? I was on their mailing list, and as the thing on the mailing list, because I bought stuff from there, the mailing list was the robot cleaners. Was $1,700 now $250, and okay. But I looked online. I didn't find any bad reviews of it. But again, the price to me is saying like, okay, that's a several years old model that's been superseded, and they've got some in the warehouse they're trying to get rid of. And so I thought it was worth a punt, and I got it, and no complaints because we're actually terrible at cleaning up. So the week or so we've had it, the floors are much cleaner. It theoretically has a mop function, but it's really shit. So we're not relying on its mop function, just on its cleaning up dust. So I feel like it's getting itchy under here. I kind of ignore it. I lost both my little clip things at various points. I noticed I'd lost the second one when I was going into the office on. Wait, did I go in on Monday or Tuesday? I only went in one day this week. Tuesday. I went in on Tuesday, and I noticed I lost it. So I just kind of holding on to the bandage till I got in the city and went to a chemist, and they charged me $1 each for the little clips. They weren't in a packet or anything. They were loose. I thought that was reasoning. Heidi, is it the My Genie X Sonic Aquamotion robot? I don't think so. You know what, Heidi, you really want to know? I could find it. Devious Chris, your wife used the same philosophy regarding you. It's an older model, but inexpensive. Pat, look, I'm fine. The hand's getting better. Look, if I go to my Gmail. Wait, where's the fucking Gmail on this? Okay, Jesus. Looking for links. Wait, which email account is this? That's the wrong email account. Maybe on a different browser? Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Edge. Okay, this is the right one. If I look up Yes, okay, Harris scarf order. Okay, Heine, because you want to know? It's the My Genie IQ 500 laser smart robot vacuum black. Yes, they're claiming its original price was $1,500 higher, which is possibly true. I just think it's a quite old model, like somewhere between 3 to 5 years old. Oh, New Philosopher. Hello. It is a department store. Kind of like Target. Yes, I saved $1,500 Harris scarf dollars. Well, that's the thing, Saf. I think possibly they're not lying when they say the original price was $1,800 and I got it for under $300. They're possibly not lying, but also that's recommended retail price when new, and probably no one sold it at that price for years. But my guess is they still had this outdated model, a bunch of them in their warehouse, and it's just taking up space, and so they marked it way down. Yeah, they had to clear the stock. They wanted to get our thing. Trickseeker, in a deterministic universe, even your bad jokes in chat were inevitable. Sorry in advance. That is, yes. There is no free will, strictly Sega. You are always going to make the bad jokes. You can't be held responsible for the bad jokes because you have no free will. Wonder if I could work that into a stand-up routine. Philosophers say there is no free will. If I make any bad jokes tonight, it's not my fault. It was predestined by the universe that I would be on this stage and make bad jokes. Devious Chris, you're not that big a fan of philosophy. One of your next 3 tattoos. Russell's teapot. I know that one. That's a ridiculous line that religious people, usually fundamentalist Christians, say to people who don't believe in a God, a creator. They go, well, there could be a teapot on the exact opposite orbit of Earth and the outside of the sun. You can't prove it's not there, type of thing. And so it's like you can't prove God doesn't exist. And I agree, you cannot prove God doesn't exist. You cannot prove a negative. Oh, Pat, your dad's. Hey, Pat's dad, how you doing? Honey, you get sort of discount, but don't really need it. Want one that can avoid socks on the floor. Okay, so yeah, if they get an obstruction, they just go around it. It's always a risk because there is an app that goes with this robot and it paths. There's always a risk that if a company goes under, a thing like that stops working. I hope it's not the case in this one. Okay, another philosophy joke. Strictly Sagi, you ordered a cocktail from a stoic bartender, asked for something that would make me forget my problems. He gave you a glass of water and said, your suffering is an interpretation. You're just looking up philosophies now. Devious Chris, Bertram was an atheist. It was a thought experiment regarding the burden of proof being on the person making the positive claim. Did I get it absolutely 100% reversed? That may have been the source, but I see it used by weirdo religious types, particularly Christians. A positive, unfalsifiable claim. Yeah. But that is the thing. You if you're saying like there could be this teapot orbiting the sun directly opposite from Earth, so you can't see it, you can't prove it's not there. Safa, I 3, I guess, because I started with my clarified eggnog because eggnog's in the supermarkets. So I wanted to make a video about it for my YouTube channel. And I did make it last night, but I forgot to take a picture for the thumbnail. So I had to pour another one and take a picture for the thumbnail. And then I experimented with another one and I did 2 versions of that. So I've had 3 cocktails. 3. Can't even do the fucking. I do that. 3. So Gestapo officer doesn't shoot me. Strictly say you were dating a nihilist for a while. Every time you asked, where is this relationship going? She'd say, ultimately nowhere. But the cocktail's good. I'll keep going with the cocktails. You're in this house. Young Ms. Angry's birthday and Mrs. Angry's lad's birthday are only a week or so apart. So we're having a joint night out for the birthdays. And we're going back to Black Kite Commune, the place that has all the Australian animals on the menu. Kangaroo and emu and wallaby and crocodile. So that's going to be a good night. Devious Chris, the teapot claim would hold the same value as the God claim. Hence why, yes, okay. That's how I understood the teapot thing. It was the same as a claim of God. You'll be on the posing ribs flying spaghetti monster. Yeah, it's and I know you definitely do get some atheists who get super weird about words like belief and possibility and whatnot. It's like, but anyone who is at all rational, like if a believer of any faith goes, you can't prove my religion's not real. You can't prove my God's not real. I say, absolutely. I cannot disprove that. it's impossible to prove a negative. I just believe there is no evidence whatsoever to support your claims. So you can say, went to a therapist. They said, you're not having a crisis. You're just very into philosophy. Apparently, when normal people look at the stars, they go, wow, pretty. When I look at the stars, I go, oh, yes, the infinite abyss that renders my to-do list meaningless. But, okay, my favorite bit of philosophizing, like, is there meaning to life or not? I just try to be nice to people. I don't know about the before, the after, or whatever. I just know the here and now. And I thought, if I have a choice to be nice to people or be mean to people, I'm just going to, most of the time, be nice to people. Try to be a positive influence on the world, as insignificant as that is. But I do love the thing. I don't know who said it originally, but I've heard a few people say it. There's the whole thing, like, you get the thing about we're made of stars, we're all stardust. And is a philosophical idea that consciousness is the universe trying to understand itself. If we are made up from atoms that came from exploding stars, we are the stuff of the cosmos, and our consciousness tries to understand the universe. So we are the universe trying to understand itself. And I just love that as an image. So you can say, have you ever realized life is basically a low-budget remake of Groundhog Day? Same stuff over and over. Worth lighting cheaper coffee. Philosophers call it repetition of being. My barista calls it your usual. Yeah. Yeah, I was just hearing weird noise. I think it was the possums in the roof. I don't know. It's very hard to be sure. So I was true when I saw there was an ongoing thing between Australia and Turkey, and I don't even give a shit. It's like no one's doing anything serious about climate change. We're just gonna suffer the worst effects of it in the next 100 years. And apologies to my kids. I'll probably see some very bad effects of it in my lifetime, but I definitely won't see the worst of it. So, GV's Chris, we could use a derivative of a cosmopolitan, force people to drink it, and call it cosmopolitan. Again, you're being too smart for me again, Chris. What's Kalam? I need to look that up. Islamic scholastic theory? Yes. Okay. The Kalam cosmological argument. It's a philosophical argument for the existing of God. And if we do it with a cosmopolitan, it becomes the Kalam cosmopolitan argument. Argues what? For the existence of sex in the city? So, scholastic speculative rational study of Islamic theology. Okay, let's go Wikipedia. Modern formulation of the cosmological argument for the evidence of God is named after the Kalam, medieval Islamic scholasticism, from which many key ideas originated. Philosopher and theologian William Lane Craig was principally responsible for revitalizing these ideas for modern academic discourse through his book, The Kalam Cosmological Argument, published in 1979. The argument's central thesis is there's a metaphysical impossibility of a temporally past infinite universe and of actual infinities existing in the real world, traced to the 11th century Persian Muslim scholastic philosopher Al-Ghazali. This feature distinguishes it from other cosmological arguments, which rest on the impossibility of a causally ordered infinite regress. Jesus, fuck. Okay, this is fuck. The most prominent form of the Kalam cosmological argument is expressed in two parts: an initial syllogism followed by further philosophical analysis. Initial syllogism. The Kalam cosmological argument is a deductive argument. Therefore, if its premises are true, the conclusion follows necessarily. So, the premise is everything that begins to exist has a cause. That's an assumption that's unprovable. The universe began to exist, probably. Therefore, the universe has a cause. Fundamental flaw, that first syllogism, everything that begins to exist has a cause. That is an unprovable proposition. That is not self-evidently true. So, conceptual analysis of the conclusion. The argument is the universe necessarily embodies specific properties in being uncaused, otherwise an infinite regressive causes would arise, timeless, therefore changeless, personal, possessing non-deterministic agency, singular as per Occam's razors, in the absence of good reasons to believe in the existence of more than one uncaused cause. Based upon the analysis, he appends further premise. If the universe has a cause, then an uncaused personal creator of the universe exists who, without the universe, is beginningless, changeless, immaterial, timeless, and enormously powerful. Therefore, an uncaused personal creator of the universe exists who, without the universe, is beginningless, changeless. Yeah, okay. The first principle of that is flawed. Stating as fact everything that exists has a cause is a supposition. Yeah, Devious Chris, turtles all the way down. So with the Kalam cosmopolitan argument, everything has a cause. Drinking this will get you drunk. Conclusion, this drink is the cause if you're drunk. Chris, you are knocking this shit out of the park, honestly. So Stricky saying you've got a bartender asks if you're okay. You tell him, I think, therefore I am. So I'm probably going to need another drink. Philosophers call it first cause. Bartenders call it your third one, mate. Yeah. So I'm sure that guy's a wonderful thinker and a philosopher and whatnot, but his first principle's bullshit. Things that exist have... sorry, I'll get it again. What was it? It was everything that it begins to exist has a cause. That's an unsupportable argument. That's just going like, I've declared this to be true. Cool. Okay. That's a subjective claim. It's not an objective truth. But what is truth? This unchanging law? We both have truth. So I'm the same as yours? Diggers, because you argue with way too many theists and flat earthers, holding back bad puns and jokes. I feel like you have an incredible arsenal of puns and jokes, actually, which would probably be good for taking the heat out of an argument with theists and flat earthers. I swear to God, I just did a stupid joke about philosophy in the title of the stream. I did not know people would take it and run with it, but I friggin' love it that we've been making philosophy puns the whole fucking time. It's awesome. And I have been introduced to multiple philosophical viewpoints that I was completely unfamiliar with, and I will probably completely forget. But all the just a little burp there. I've held this hand up because if the thing goes down, it starts to throb, just like with the pulse. So it looks like I'm trying to get sympathy for my bandaged finger, but I'm not really. Devious Chris, it's genetic. Your grandfather was a huge span on his wall. It said "world's biggest stirrer" written on it. It had a spoon on his wall. Oh yes, okay. Again, puns. Huge spoon, world's biggest stirrer, and that's me. I'm the world's biggest stirrer. Yeah. That is an excellent pun as well. I am such a fan of wordplay. Like I said, just like when I was trying to I came up with the acronym and then just wanted to justify it, the WTF cocktail. So I'm going to go for iteration three tomorrow night with much less Fernet, because I think the Fernet is too much. And then up the whiskey. I don't think I've got anything else that starts with F. I think I'm stuck with Fernet. I could do a quick perusal of the Forbidden Cupboard of Mystery. I should do that. I should double check that I don't have anything else that starts with F in there. Let's see. There's supposed to be something herbal on there, but anyway. I don't think I'm going to come up with anything better than Fernet. That's a gin liqueur. That's a chocolate liqueur. Galliano, elderflower, pimento, chocolate. Peach. Fire. Ooh, fire. Oh, I have to try this. This is a cinnamon liqueur called Fire Tree. Ooh, that might work better than Fernet. And while there's no real reason I can't make one more cocktail and get really shit-faced tonight, I am trying to be responsible and not do that. I don't have Frangelico, Devious Chris. But also, for the structure of this cocktail, I need something that's herbal or bitter, and this Fire Tree, which is a very hot cinnamon. You know what? It's only 9:30. I need to have a pee break, which is ridiculous, but I do need to do it. Okay. There was no way I was going to last another half hour without having that toilet break. All right. Now I think tomorrow night it's going to be Whiskey Tangelo and Fire Tree. But again, only a small amount of it because that liqueur has a really hot cinnamon burn. So there you go. It was worth looking into the Forbidden Cupboard of Mystery because I did find something else that started with F. I do have things that are like Frangelico, but I don't actually have Frangelico. Oh my goodness, sorry. It's getting to me. Yeah, so I guess that's going to be the experiment tomorrow night. Make the WTF. Now I've been inspired. I think maybe the Fire Tree. I make it with Fire Tree. And if I'm not about that, then I make it again with Fernet, but with a smaller amount of Fernet. And in both cases, with a larger amount of whiskey. And the shall see. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, this is what happens to me. I yawn once, and then I can't stop yawning. That's what's gonna happen. Big glass of ice. Looks a lordy. You see, Sophie, you know what I'm talking about. You know how susceptible I am once I start yawning. It just keeps happening. But, you know, I'm going to soldier on for a while at least, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, by the way, long-term viewers will remember me complaining I couldn't make these two lights different. You'll notice they're different at the moment because it wasn't working when I turned one off. Do I make you? Sometimes my yawns make you. Okay, yawns are a form of hypnotism. That whole thing where you can yawn and make another person yawn, that's a form of hypnotism. So we're saying, honey, you got the Bourne Supremacy on HD DVD. No way to play it. Promotional disc with no barcode. Okay. So yes, but I was going to say, I got clever. Even when I switched one of these lights off and changed the other one, they'd be the same. I thought, okay, they're USB powers. Maybe if I just unplug them, because they've got USB connectors, and so I unplugged one and then changed the other one, then plugged the first one back in, and it worked. So I got the thing, that teal and orange lighting thing that so many YouTube videos use. So I've got that now. It's even sort of illuminating my hair a little bit on this side. So we'll see what it looks like when I edit a video like this. If you go through my the cocktail videos on YouTube, the lighting changes. Sometimes it'll be the same for months on end, and sometimes it'll change several times in a month because I decide to do something different with the lights. But there's that orange teal lighting thing. It's a Hollywood thing, and a lot of people who make YouTube videos do it as well. Because it's just the contrast. They're chromatically opposite, so it makes for interesting lighting. I'm not sure how much effect it has here. As I've said a million times, I need a director and a producer. Maybe the one person who's a director producer, maybe also an editor for that matter. But, I just do YouTube as a lark. Don't make any money from it. So like you can't really spend money on it. But who knows what the future will bring? It's a strange and mysterious thing. I just randomly popped into my head. I'm going to do another whiskey tasting. Do a comparison of some of my whiskeys. Maybe not tonight. Ugh. So for date night is one of our favorites. A place called Mr. and Mrs. P. Great set menu. We actually love places that do set menu or places that feed me menu, and you just get multiple little courses. And what I like is you regularly get stuff that you wouldn't order. So it broadens your horizons. It's just like, oh, you're just going to bring me food, and I'm just going to trust you that it's going to be good. And one of the things, a lot of them will have a raw fish thing. So it's fish that's not cooked, but it's usually cured, or it's in something acidic that sort of cooks it. So I think, see, no, set menus are the opposite of boring because you end up getting stuff you never would have ordered. If I'm left to my own devices, the sort of food I'm order is going to be on a relatively narrow band. But if it's just like, hey, chef, feed me, I'm going to get stuff I never would have ordered. So also this place, and again, things I never would have ordered. This place has a steamed veggie dumpling that's just the best fucking thing ever. And I never would have gone, steamed veggie dumpling. I want that. I would have looked at steamed veggie dumpling. That sounds fucking gross. But I swear to God, this place's steamed veggie dumplings are next level. They're so good. Plus, they might have changed the menu up, seasonal changes, because we haven't been there for 6 months. We've got enough places on our rotation that we only go to places twice a year. And Safri was quite busy last time we were there. So it's likely to be busy this Saturday night as well. They seem to do quite well. They're right next to a train station, which is great for us because we're drinking cocktails. So we want public transport. I mean, I could get a taxi or an Uber or something. So a lot of places. So we go out. There's things that vary this, but basically every second Saturday is date night. So we have 26 date nights a year. I think we've got 12 places on our rotation. And so when you take into account, sometimes we're doing different things. Our regulars, we go to twice a year. And it's funny, the date night came out of the blended household thing. Both myself and Mrs. Angry have offspring with a different partner. So we'd have every second Saturday night free because even when they were little, the kids would be with the other parent every second Saturday night. So we'd go out. It's, it hasn't been an issue for years because, they grow up, they're adults, they don't need us, but we've just kept up the tradition of every second Saturday night being date night. And so we've been in this current place like 9 years, 8-9 years. And we've built up this roster of places that are all attainable by public transport. So some of them are a couple of suburbs away, but we can get there by public transport. And damn, there's some good ones in the rotation. But Mrs. Angry has always kept notes on when we go out and what we had and what we liked, so we knew next time we were there. And I've talked about this before, my Essential 8 scoring system for date night. So we have a whole a quite complex rating system for the places we go to. We score them out of 3. They get 0, 1, 2, or 3, depending how well they do in the criteria. And they might score different on different nights, so the leaderboard changes. So if you're surprised the young'uns don't burn the house down. Well, look, okay, we never went out. Like I said, they were with another parent. That's why we were doing it. When they got older, there was a period where both my young'uns, and this probably lasted for about 5 years, where both my young'uns were living here permanently. But they were older then. How far CBD on tram? From tram, it takes the best part of an hour to get to the CBD on tram from my place. But unlike on the Frankston line, I get a train that's faster. A tram can be less hassle. You just get on a tram and go. Whereas it's like, I got to get to the station, whether I take a tram to the station and then get a train or drive to the station. In some ways, the tram's less hassle, but train's much faster. So, yeah, we've we go in places between Malvern and Brighton, so that's like 4 suburbs that we go into stuff. Safa, technically our date night places are all in the suburbs. Sometimes we go into the city. It's weird. We don't do CBD date nights, but sometimes we go out in the CBD. Hello, Madam Butterfly, by the way. Lovely to see you. Which is funny. Date nights, CBD is not official date nights. Like I said, but for the birthday, joint birthday, Young Miss Angry and Mrs. Angry's lad, that's going to be in the city. We're going to Black Kite Commune again because we've decided we really like Black Kite Commune. But yeah, just every now and then with Mrs. Angry, go like, oh, let's go out in the city. But they're not date nights. It's usually for some other reason we go out in the city. But there's a couple things. There's a couple new bars I want to visit. Haven't done it for a while. There's a Death & Co. in the city now. Caretaker's Cottage has a spin-off called 3 Horses. I want to try that out. I don't know if I'll do that with Mrs. Angry on this birthday party night. We'll see, I guess. I'll put it to it. But there's this thing there's a little L shape in like 1.5 blocks in the city. There's 4 cocktail bars, and all really different vibes. There's a loud garish tiki bar called Luau. There's the Gin Palace. There's a very casual place called Bar Ampere, serves food till 3 a.m., which is good. Good cocktails too. And then there's Black Kite Commune, which is kind of upmarket. It's a bit more like a restaurant, but it's a bar. Very good cocktails, very good food. I think they serve food to 3 a.m. too, actually. But Bar Ampere is a bit more casual. And Black Kite Commune is a bit more upmarket. But that's like 4 bars with 4 completely different vibes, all within a block and a half of each other. It's like, goddamn. So spoiled for choice in Melbourne. But that's become my default. I recommend to people, like anyone visits, even if they're just visiting from the suburbs, they're just like, oh, the city, where should we go? And it's like, okay, there's literally 50 bars you could go to in the city, but okay, keep it simple. I point people. Oh, good stuff. Did you just go and look it up? Black Kite Commune closes at 1 a.m. Okay. Well, Bar Ampere stays open till 3 a.m. if they've got customers. I have had a burger at Bar Ampere at about 2 a.m. I think because I've just been with someone in the city and it's like really fucking late. And I'm going, I'm hungry. I know where to get food. I know where to get food. Go and get a burger at Bar Ampere at 2 a.m. So if you like the Rooftops cocktail bar, there you go. There's a few rooftop places actually. There is I think it's Spanish Bomba. Let me look it up. It's like there's at ground floor there's a restaurant. Yeah, it's Spanish. The rooftop is Bomba Tapas. Been there once. It was good. Ground floor is a restaurant, but you take an elevator up. It's not open air, but you get a bit of a view from it. It's nice, and I like the food and drinks there. Bomba Bomba Bar. But there's a lot of rooftop places in Melbourne now. You went to one where it was so high up the debit card didn't work at times. Yeah, well, there's quite a few rooftop places, and they range from like 2 stories to 30 odd stories. Oh shit! I should put some. I'm going to put some pictures on Discord. I had a corporate lunch this week. It was like perk of the job. Someone, we want people to talk about this stuff with cybersecurity, and it was at the. I was at one of the fucking upmarket hotels on Collins Street in one of their conference rooms, and it was really fucking fancy. It was 30 odd floors up. I'm going to put some pictures on the Discord. What channel will I put them in? Yeah, fuck off, Wilbs. Sorry. Strictly saying you posted a picture of an arcade game that claims to be a Serbian film, which is aggressive. Okay, what channel should this be on? So you can general news videos, bar chat, sightseeing pics. I'm torn between general neurospicy and spicy. I'm gonna put it in general neurospicy. I had a corporate lunch this week. And then I got to put some pictures in. Where's the lunch stuff? Also, it was pretty good and somewhat vertiginous view. It was like floor to ceiling glass. And when you got to it, it's just a little bit of vertigo. So does Melbourne have better restaurants than Sydney? I mean, I think so. I think Melbourne's just a better vibe generally than Sydney, but I'm not a big restaurant people, so who knows? Look, okay, so what are we up to? Okay, I feel like now I'm going to show these on the stream. These bickies. So, where are we? Share screen on the Discord. Okay, so let's do this. Where are we? Fuck, Discord. So that's this is the menu for a lunch. So they had wines and whatnot, but the entrees, cured Tasmanian salmon, fire roasted red capsicum chimichurri. So that's what I had. They were doing alternate ones. The person next to me got king prawns. The cured Tasmanian salmon was pretty good. Now the mains was either duck or lamb. I got the lamb. I don't like duck, so I'm glad I got the lamb. And the desserts, I would have had either of them. Choux pastry, raspberry, macerated strawberry, white chocolate, raspberry cream, raspberry sorbet, or Tahitian vanilla, creme, raspberry emulsion. Again, I did not pay for this shit. That's the Sofitel on Collins. So that's pretty fucking upmarket. This was my main. This was the lamb I had. Fairly simply presented. Quite nice. This is my dessert. Very fancy. A little bowl of sorbet and cream and shit. The dessert was very yummy. And I took a bunch of shots of the view, but we were quite high up, like 35 floors up. And pretty good views. So I don't often get perks like that. I didn't pay like it was okay. You know, it was a software vendor, and the thing is, they eventually want to do a sales pitch, and they want people to have a conversation about what we do about cybersecurity in the public sector. Yeah, dude, I've not had a decadent thing like that for ages. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. Just like a 2-hour lunch and discussion. It was pretty fucking good. So yeah, exactly, Safa. They're buttering me up. They'll want to do a sales pitch at some point, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't actually make any decisions, but you know, I'm open to your entreaties. You know, like tell me what you can do for me, sort of thing. But yeah, there are these seminars and workshops and presentations and whatnot all the fucking time. Like I got another one saying, "Oh, you want to come to this one in December?" Like, no, I'm actually going to be on leave, so I won't be up for that. And they sent me another one. This is March next year. And I go, okay, you're fucking stretching my brain to commit to something in March of next year. But yeah, this shit happens all the time, and that's on the lower end of the scale. Someone giving you a lunch. You get these ones where they go like, "Oh yes, we're having our annual conference. You're invited, and you know it's in the Cayman Islands." It's just this friggin' bullshit where they fly you somewhere exotic because they want you to sign a multi-million-dollar deal. I'm not the person who signs deals anyway, but I literally thought, oh well, this actually kind of sounds relevant to my work. Maybe there's a point in going. And I took those pictures and I haven't shared them at work yet because I was just kind of worried that everyone's going like, "Oh, fuck you. What was that all about?" But I actually did send out an offer to the team. Like I said, hey, they said there's room for one more person. Who wants to come? And no one took it up. So it's on them. My boss actually said it was good that I went. So I don't feel bad getting a really flash lunch. Like I said, they were serving beer and wine. And I'm not a beer or wine drinker. So I just had one glass of orange juice, and then I just drank water after that. I kept joking, like, hey, if they served whiskey, that's the whole thing. Creamy sensations. Hello, you found me. I feel very lucky and very special that you found me in the last 10 minutes that I'm hanging around tonight. Safa, well, yeah. A few people had several glasses of wine, quite honestly. But yeah, they were offering wine, and it mentioned beer on the menu. I didn't see anyone drink beer. I just saw people drinking wine. Well, I'm not a wine person, so I said no, thank you. If someone brings around whiskey, that will be a different question. But they didn't do that. But again, this place. Oh, actually, the other thing. Okay. I should also post the P with a view. The toilet actually had picture windows. Wait, what am I doing? Got to put it on. Loo with a view. That's it. Loo with a view. All right. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Enough talking, Scott. I've done like 3 cocktails so far. But again, this is the other thing from my corporate lunch during the week. The toilets had a view. The urinals had a view anyway. So just for evidence, I included the urinal in the shot. But yes, we're 35 floors up and the urinals have this view. Also, you can see into all these apartments. That's an apartment building. But you can see there's Treasury Gardens and stuff over there. That's actually my bag. I put my bag down to take a pee and I didn't move it for the photo. But yes, loo with a view. I'm assuming I'm possibly incorrectly assuming people on the outside couldn't see in. Is this a fetish thing? I actually have. I comb my beard. I don't know if you're joking, Runa, but my beard tends to sort of curl to one side, so I always have to straighten it. Oh my God, that's so fucking nice. Okay, for anyone who missed it, this is not a urine sample as much as it looks like one. That's a clarified cocktail. That is, it's clarified eggnog. It's supermarket eggnog, and 2 supermarket eggnog. I had a mix of whiskey, rum, and brandy, and orange juice. And the orange juice, the acidic element, you add that to the eggnog, it curdles, and then you filter that through just a paper coffee filter, and it comes out really clear, and it's yum as fuck. Creamy sensations. Has a beard combing fetish. But it's slightly long at the moment. I actually have a little fine brush that. Okay, here's the fun thing. Again, long-term viewers of the stream know I use a CPAP machine when I sleep, and it's important that my mouth doesn't hang open when I'm doing it, because otherwise it's like, and this thing blowing air up my nose, it just sounds like a wind tunnel and wakes Mrs. Angry up, and also dries my throat out. So I've actually got this ridiculous sort of head harness that goes over my head and sits onto my chin. And the idea is it keeps my mouth shut while I'm asleep. But it's this elastic thing. So the whole night, my beard is pushed out like this. And also my moustache is sort of... So I tend to wake up and my beard is sticking out at 90 degrees. And it takes quite a bit to settle it down. I have beard oil. Well, actually, normally it's just like I have a shower and just it being wet, but then I put some beard oil in and I comb the beard oil through. So creamy sensations. I hope that's a good mental image for you. If you've got a beard combing fetish, that's what I do every morning. Oh my God. That clarified eggnog is so fucking good. It's yummy. I'm going to do the same thing next week with custard. You know what? Honestly, Creamy Sensations, you're so sincere. I almost want to go and get my beard combing brush for you. And Shayna, I don't know if you two are in cahoots or if it's the same person. You want beard combing? Creamy Sensations does sound a bit like a porno name, Safa. I mean, honestly, I feel like I want to reward you with a beard. Oh my god, I fucking love it. Let you get a towel. Honestly, you're my kind of people. Honestly, there's this little sort of handheld brush thing which I just got. It was just in like a Woolies supermarket, but it's actually quite good for combing / brushing my beard. I'm probably going to get a haircut and trim the beard. It'll be shorter next week. Unless I don't do it. I've been saying for several weeks I was going to get it done and I didn't get it done. So who the heck knows whether or not I'll actually get it done next week. Maybe. Creamy Sensations wants to come across and comb it. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Actually, that's an interesting thing. Where are you? I'm in Melbourne. Melbourne. I'm just joking by saying Melbourne. We don't say Melbourne. We say Melbourne. It's just we think there are too many letters in the name of the city. There should be less letters. We want to conserve letters. The alphabet is a limited resource. People have been too cavalier with letters of the alphabet. Actually, I'm working on the possibly flawed assumption that you're joking. Creamy Sensations. I remember from the early days of YouTube, and I mean 15 plus years ago, one of my YouTube friends, Graham, had a channel called Graham and Friends. And he was a particularly big chap. All right, you know what? Creamy Sensations. I'm going to do it. Because you're just so entertaining to me. I'm going to do it. You got to give me a minute. I got to go get my beard brush. Oh, my God. I almost fell out of the chair again. This also reminds me of the early days of YouTube, where I had several people insisting I had to show my feet in a video, which I did eventually do. Oh, and he's gone and joined Twitch. You're gonna have a moment, Creamy Sensation. You know what? I'm gonna try and make it special for you. Got this brush, just a little handheld brush, which is like from Woolies supermarket. But God, it's got all this loose hair in it. God damn it. The robot can pick this hair up sometime. Robot vacuum comes in here occasionally. Anyway, so we're going to go ASMR. Towel ready. That's what we want. And he's got a towel ready as well. Everyone's got a towel. We're going to go the whole way. It's going to be ASMR. ASMR time. Is it doing it for you? Beard combing ASMR. Oh my gosh. Shayna and Creamy. Oh my God. You two are so funny. I fucking love it. And honestly, even if you're completely sincere and this is your fetish, I'm here for it. But you are providing me with immense entertainment. I think I knocked my mic plug out. He's backwards. Sorry, that was brilliant. I never know what's going to happen in a live stream, and that was awesome. All right, I am going to bed now. Actually, Strictly saying, you just missed the, or maybe you didn't, the beard combing fetishists that I was catering to. Some visitors on Twitch. It was a hell of a thing. Did some beard combing. Oh, you were here. Okay, you're just back in chat. Okay, good. Well, I think that's a note to sign off on. A thing I didn't expect to happen, but that's the joy of the streams. There's usually always something I wasn't expecting that happened. Madam Butterfly even thinks I've been naughty. Okay. Well, you just got to give the people what they want. That's what it comes down to. And yes, gearing up for party night tomorrow night. Creamy sensations. I normally do quite a long stream on a Friday night and tend to be more than a bit inebriated. I could probably be convinced to do other things. So hell yeah, off stream. Okay, you got to join the Discord. That's for after party stuff, the Discord. But I am going to bed now. So I'll see you fine folk another time if you choose to grace me with your presence. And but I'm going to go to sleepy boo-boos now. So you all take care. I'll see you another time. Bye for now. Bye.
You are totally